I'm gonna start this one differently. It's something that needs to be talked about, and millions of people are talking about it. So my voice is one in a million, but it's that extra voice that counts. And I think millions could turn into tens of millions, and that's what needs to happen. You sat there and told women what they can and can't do with their bodies, but you are so entitled to do whatever the hell you like. Because I'm not too sure why. I'm not too sure why you think you're entitled, actually. Because you're the president. We've had 44 presidents before you, and that term has not been acceptable in society for so long. See, that's the thing. Back when it was acceptable 300 years ago for women to be belittled, I don't remember any. I don't remember reading in any of the history books that they weren't mocked by presidents. They certainly weren't slandered by presidents. 300 years ago, you never heard presidents saying, you know, judging women based on their looks, calling them out as irrelevant or ugly or fat. Because you can talk, Donald, of course, yeah. Fucking. But for some reason, yeah, I mean, as a president, obviously, you do have power. You are entitled to certain things. You are entitled to make decisions. Um, but there's decisions you can't take away from people, and that is human rights. You wake up in the morning and you think that can't be right. Yeah, it can't be right. We've gone so far, and I get the term, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, but going back 300 years is pretty stupid. And that's just, where's the common logic in that? And don't have people here saying, "Oh yeah, but we voted for him. I didn't, so I'm allowed to rant. I didn't vote for him. I'm not an American citizen. I'm a British citizen. So technically it doesn't affect me, but it does." That's where people get it twisted. It does. When you see people protesting in Sydney, London, Bristol, all over America, there's a reason. Yes, he's not our president. Yes, he doesn't run our government. But there are women in America. There are women in Sydney. There are women in London. And I'm a woman right here. So yeah, it affects me. What affects a group of women affects every woman, all women across the world. Because we didn't get to where we are now by just thinking, oh, it's happening in a different country, so why do I care? Because if we did that, no chance we'd be where we are today. Women empowerment is not something that is confined by country. It is defined by how we rally together, by our determination, by our fight, and by every single little girl wanting to grow up with equal opportunities. Men making decisions for women's bodies. Oh god, that's such a misogynistic statement. You're telling me that you see the picture, just looking at that photo, you know, 5 privileged white middle-aged men making decisions for women all across the country. I've never felt so pig-sick in my life. Really? We're going back to that stage now, are we? Where you think it's okay to tell a woman what she can do with her body, but you can do whatever the hell you like. You can do what you like because you are a white privileged male. Oh, good for you, sweetheart. Good for you. And who gave birth to you? Who gave birth to your white privileged ass? A woman. Get the picture? See, it's not that hard of a concept. Abortion, I agree with the fact that if you're gonna, sleep around, not even bother using protection, and if you know that you can't, handle the responsibility as a parent, then shrink wrap it. Don't just go off and have sex, have an abortion, and then do it again. Because it shouldn't be taken lightly. Abortion should never, ever be taken lightly. But at the end of the day, her body, her choice. What about the countless women who, even with our medical advances, they still are at risk if they get pregnant. If they find out, oh, this child is having a lot of complications and is giving you a lot of illness, and there's a possibility that it could be permanent health risks to you, what's she supposed to do? Put her life and the baby's life at risk? Okay, and what about if the child isn't likely to make it? Then what? Then what do? You carry it out, and say you reach, say, 25 weeks and the baby's born, and you see your child and it doesn't make it. What's the harsher one? Carrying on and thinking, the further you go along, oh yeah, I'm gonna make it, this child's gonna make it, because you never want to give up hope. But then when it doesn't make it, it's that much crueler. It's that much crueler to have a woman endure weeks and weeks more of pregnancy when there's a chance. Some women are willing to take that risk. Fine. But there are some women who, if they know the chance is slight, they don't want to prolong that agony. And I don't want to just be spurting out random stuff if I don't know the actual facts behind it. They did a study and they found out that 32,101 cases of rape result in pregnancy. That's 32,000 women a year. You're telling me. And it was done on cases of women that were raped at a reproductive age. So between the age of 12 and 45. 12. Let's just look at 12. She's a child. You're telling me that if she gets raped and she gets pregnant through that monster that took away her innocence, took away her virtue, took away everything she held dear as a child, she has to endure it. She can't even be offered the possibility of an abortion to live a normal, healthy life, as normal as it can be, because it's never going to be normal for her. It's never going to be normal for her ever again. But you're telling me that she has to endure it and give birth at 12? She didn't ask for that. She didn't want it. So why does she have to suffer? Why does she have to carry on for a pregnancy? She's 12. Someone made that decision for you. Donald has made that decision for you. That's not how it works, sweetheart. That's not how it works at all. She is a woman. She's entitled to her rights. It takes years of psychological help for women to get over such a trauma. And you want to put 18 years onto that? Minimum 18 years. Yeah, you could adopt the child, but that's not going to take away the trauma. That's not going to take away the trauma of a 12-year-old giving birth to her, rapist's child. How is she ever going to get over that? You could give her therapy, you could give her the best fucking counselling in the world, but she didn't want that. So she shouldn't have to endure it. That rapist has gone off and probably done something else, because half the time, rapists aren't always caught. So he could be off doing whatever the hell he likes. And if not, he's gone to prison. And with the justice system, what it is, he'll get what? 9 years? 9 years. That's half of what she has to endure. Because she has a child with him now, so that's 18 years minimum. I'm talking to you, Donald. What if one of your daughters, heaven forbid, I won't wish it on them at all. What if they were raped? What if they got pregnant? Or what if they got pregnant and found out there was complications and it was affecting their health and they could possibly lose their own life as well as the child's? Would they be able to have an abortion? Oh yeah, wait, I forgot. You'd pay for the private, wouldn't you? Right, because you're entitled. You're so entitled. How many women in that country, in the world, can afford that kind of procedure? Private, you're looking thousands of pounds. And they have to get that within 9 months. I'm sorry, some people can't just make money out of nowhere or get a loan from their dad. It's not as easy. But you're privileged, you're entitled, so it's okay for you. How is one woman's womb more important than another's? Tell me, I was telling my teacher about this actually the other day when we had this rant. How can you physically tell me that one woman's womb is more important or more valued than another's? If you can do an ultrasound on every single woman's womb in the world, I guarantee you it would pretty much look the same. Different size and slightly different shape, possibly. But is it glittered in gold? Is it lined with silver? Does it have diamonds sparkling out of it? They all do the same thing. They all have the same purpose. We all have wombs. We all give birth to children. Every woman's womb is just as important to us. Maybe not to you, but to us. You can't say that someone else's womb is more important than my own. You can't tell me that someone's womb is more entitled than my own. Okay, so my heater was actually the thing that was giving me light, and it's now broken. So I'm just going to finish this off quickly. Dressing gown, yes. Donald Trump doesn't like to be bullied. I think he's actually intimidated by women. Every single time a woman calls him out and tells him what's what, he instantly goes on the offensive. Oh, you're irrelevant. Oh, you're this. Oh, you're that. Like, Meryl Streep has never heard anyone tell her that she's not going to make it. Now, currently, the most nominated actress or actor in history. So, yeah, she's really irrelevant. To you, maybe, but to filmmakers like myself, to women all across the world, she is living proof that you can do it. She is living proof that you can be successful, and she is living proof that don't let anyone say that you can't. So when Donald Trump says you can't have rights, yes we can, and yes we will. We fought for them once, we'll fight for them again. And one thing you should know about us as women, Donald, is that we are fighters through and through. We fight for our children, we fight for ourselves, we fight for each other. What do you fight for? Who do you fight for? Who profits from you signing bills? Who profits from it? What you've signed is suicide notes. What you've signed is women who can no longer go through with life because they can't handle or cope with carrying their assailant's child. So they would rather take their life than carry on. You want to carry on penalising groups, LGBT community. You want to carry on penalising women. What's the one group you won't penalise? People just like you, people selfish-minded and backward thinking. This is 2017. If we fought decades ago, you best believe that we'll fight now. Because we've had rights, so we know what it's like to have rights. Once you have a taste of what it's like, we're not going to give it up. And we're not going to give it up for you. Why? Why should we? Give me one good reason why we should sign over our rights to you. I didn't vote for you. These women that are protesting, they didn't vote for you. You're so happy and making people miserable, aren't you? That's so sad. That's so childish. And I left the school playground years ago. You are the 45th President of the United States. Start acting like one. Instead of some petulant child throwing his toys out every single time someone says something that he doesn't like. Aww. If only I had the privilege to do that every time someone said that about me. If only I had the privilege to say, oh, well, you said something mean about me, so I'm going to take away your rights. But I'm a human. I'm a decent human. And I understand that not everyone likes me, and that's their choice. I understand that not everyone agrees with me, and that's their choice. So, people are allowed a choice. I choose not to follow your dictatorship. I choose women have rights. Women fought for their rights, and women will keep their rights.